So I'm liking how this Beerus versus the Z Fighters fight in Dragon Ball Super is essentially adding more content to what we got in Battle of Gods. Because in Battle of Gods, when Beerus shows up, he pretty much just slaps everyone around and really doesn't give anyone a chance to shine, at least show that they're still fighters, they can still do shit, but, you know, he's just a more powerful entity that they've never fought before. But in Dragon Ball Super, we're getting like these long fights that I'm actually really enjoying. I like seeing how Majin Buu can't put up a fight against Beerus compared to Beerus just slapping him in the face and moving on to everyone else. Majin Buu is putting up a fight and he really just can't win against Beerus. Same goes with the Z Fighters. You got 18, you got Piccolo, you got Tien. Don't know why Tien is going in on this shit, but at least you see all the Z Fighters trying their best to land a hit on Beerus, and it just doesn't work out. He is the fucking god of destruction. There's no way they're gonna stand a chance against this guy. But I still love the fact that Dragon Ball Super is adding to their characters by showing, yo, we know we can't win, but we at least gotta try. We gotta try to take this motherfucker down. And I really enjoyed the part where Gotenks makes his attempt at taking on Beerus, and it was futile completely. I mean, Beerus just freaking caught his fist between his fingers. I mean, good lord. And even when Gotenks mentions the Dragon Balls, Beerus is just oblivious to it, asking, hey, is it delicious? And honestly, I really thought Dragon Ball was going to go down a bit of a dark route, because right when Beerus is saying, yo, disrespectful children need to be punished, he has Gotenks' arm like out, and I've seen plenty of animes where shit like this happens, and when a villain extends the arm out for like a person that they're fighting, they're going in for the chop. They're gonna chop off that arm, or at least they're gonna try to. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, is Beerus about to rip off a child's like arm just because he's being a little bit disrespectful? I thought Dragon Ball was going down a bit of a dark path. And even if he didn't successfully chop off Gotenks' arm, I at least thought he was going in for the kill, and then maybe Vegeta or Piccolo, someone comes in and stops the blow from landing. I thought for a good 6 seconds just watching that, I was like, oh, okay, Dragon Ball getting good. But Beerus, of course, just flicks the shit out of his arm and makes it swollen to the size of a planet. And whether or not this was supposed to be comedic or is supposed to add to Krillin's character, I really liked how everyone was going in and doing their work, but Krillin was sitting back. And the reason why I say this is because we all know that Krillin can't do shit against whatever Beerus has. Like, he couldn't do shit with Majin Buu, Cell, Frieza, all that shit. And this other guy is coming up and like fucking stronger than all of them, and Krillin's not going in at all. And then Chi-Chi comes in and says, yo, Krillin, why are you letting your wife go in there and doing work while you're just sitting here like an asshole? And the expression on Krillin's face, to me, it was just priceless, because he looks at Chi-Chi and it's just this blank expression that he has. And I don't know if it was on purpose, but what I read from his face was, bitch, I know I can't take on Beerus. Why the fuck am I just gonna go in to get slapped around, possibly killed, and leave my daughter a fatherless child? Like, I'm kind of glad Krillin didn't go in, because he knows, as much as everyone else there, that he can't put up much of a fight. But then Yamcha coming in, crusty as hell, saying, yo, Krillin, don't worry about it, man. I'll watch your daughter for you. You go in and put in some work. I thought that was going to be a comedy moment. I thought Krillin was going to look at him like, you motherfucker. No! Call Krillin what you want, weak, the person who dies every episode, the person who's a coward at every turning moment. At least the man knows when he's outmatched, and he's not gonna put in wasteless effort or just work that's not gonna be the result that he wants. If he goes and tries to fight Beerus, he knows he's most likely gonna lose. But then finally, when it came down to Vegeta trying to make a choice if he should go in and do some work along with the other Z fighters, I swear to God, I got some Broly vibes in that shit, because he's like, oh shit, what do I do, man? Everyone else is going up there and I'm sitting here acting like a pussy. And then finally he just comes to terms with himself and says, oh, screw it, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, it's time to go in and do some work. And I swear, I think they took a page out of the first Broly movie, because it was just so much the exact same thing that Vegeta went through when he was trying to figure out, man, all these fighters are going in on Broly, I'm just sitting here just being a bitch about it. I'm the prince, baby, let's go. And now finally, the pivotal moment of this episode of Dragon Ball Super. when Beerus slaps Bulma. Now, I know in Battle of Gods, I took it as a very serious moment because, you know, Bulma was acting kind of bitchy and whatnot. But as soon as Beerus swiped that hand across her face, it got really serious. It was quick, it was out of nowhere, and you knew that shit was about to go down. But in this episode of Dragon Ball Super, I could not help myself from laughing due to the fact that they made this so dramatic. Like, they showed Beerus just getting the wind-up ready, and he was just flexing that pimp hand because you know what was gonna happen as soon as he swiped it across, and he just does it like immediately, and it drags out the motion for so long. It shows Bulma with a bruise on her cheek. It shows her flying across the cruise ship, and it was just so overly dramatic that it was so freaking funny because in reality, Beerus, you know that he didn't, you know, fucking like swipe her like an actual pimp slap because that would have killed her without a doubt. And then that's it, sent her flying. He doesn't need to put in any more effort to do that. But regardless, Vegeta sees it, does that "how dare you hit my Bulma!" and goes through his transformation. I'll admit, I did like it a bit more in Battle of Gods because it was a burst of energy. It was just like something welled up inside of Vegeta, and he's like, yo, don't you dare touch my woman like that. And he just goes in, going ham. But now here, it's kind of like he's powering up. He's thinking in his head like, oh no, he hit my Bulma. How dare you? I'm gonna fight you, Beerus. Like, it's dragged out to the point where it's like Vegeta unlocked a new form when that's not the case. It's just a burst of energy like how it was in Battle of Gods, and it was just that, a burst. It was a quick, rapid succession of punches that just put Beerus on his feet like, oh shit, man, gotta stop this motherfucker. But in this one, it's kind of dragged out to the point where, to me, it's a little less epic than in Battle of Gods, but I'm still all about that Vegeta going in with Super Saiyan 2. I mean, oh my god, I can't wait for next week's episode of Dragon Ball Super because you know Vegeta's gonna do some awesome shit. And I'm assuming it's gonna be a fight compared to a burst like it was in Battle of Gods because they kind of dragged this out. So what I'm hoping is that they don't make a repeat of episode 5 because if any of you see my review for episode 5, that episode was atrocious, very atrocious, and it was a battle episode. So I'm hoping that next week's episode, which I'm assuming is going to be a battle episode between Vegeta and Beerus, is going to be top of the line. The animation needs to be adequate at least, please. The art, I hope people know how to draw Vegeta doing battle because Goku versus Beerus doing battle, hell no. Hell no. So keeping my fingers crossed for next week's episode. I'm sure it's gonna be well done. But that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts. But that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it at all, if you could leave a like down below, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, I would love you forever, people. I'm Mr. Ajax, and as always, people, stay beautiful.